guys, Sig here. So I have another ESL lesson for you guys today, and this one is about the 5 W's, which is probably a topic that you are all very familiar with. It's very fundamental, but more than just what the 5 W's are, I want to talk to you guys about why they are important and how they are used as basically the foundation of pretty much everything that we say and do as English speakers, and how you can use it to help you better solve problems. So let's get right to it. The first thing that I'm going to show you guys is, of course, the 5 W's themselves. There is who, which is a person, often the subject of a sentence. There is what, a thing, a noun, or it also can be a verb, an action. There is where, a place the action is taking place. There is when, a point in time that the actions occur, and there is why, the reason for the action. Of these though, when is a little bit tricky in that it actually can kind of move around in its position in a sentence. But let's see that. What does this look like? So I have an example sentence here for you guys. I'm going to the store to buy groceries. But put in order of the 5 W's by color, like I had on the previous page, it looks like this. We have our who, our what, our where, and our why, but absent from this is the when. And so you can expand this to say, I'm going to the store today to buy groceries. And this is the order we saw on the previous slide. However, you can also say, and it's totally okay to say, today I'm going to the store to buy groceries, or I'm going to the store to buy groceries today. However, there are some pretty common mistakes that I see students make with this, and that you never say, I'm today going to the store to buy groceries, or I'm going today to the store to buy groceries, or a really bad one is I'm going to the store to today buy groceries. And the biggest reason that this last one is so wrong is, number one, I've placed my when in between an infinitive verb, to plus a verb. And one of the basic rules of English is that you should never split an infinitive in this way. But even aside from the verb, I've put my when right in the middle of my why. And so it doesn't totally make sense. And actually, just to say, my first example here of I'm today going to the store, remember that I'm is the contraction for I am. So the verb is am going. Therefore, in this situation, you technically, again, have split an infinitive with today. The other thing that I want to point out about this to you guys, though, is that an important part of this verb, or an important part of this sentence, is the verb going, which is a verb implying movement. And so whenever you are discussing movement to a place, the question that you ask about that isn't when, it's where. Where are you going? And so that's what I want to talk to you guys about. There's a logical order in which we say things in English from start to finish. Let's look at this from a different angle, in what I call the question and answer method. We have our same sentence from the previous slide. I'm going to the store to buy groceries. But what if we took every word of this sentence away and tried to say it to someone that we were talking to one word at a time? If I just said to my friend sitting next to me, they would be confused. They would be expecting more of a sentence, and they specifically would be expecting you what? If I just say I'm with nothing else, there's no context. And the first thing that English speakers wants to know is what? The verb. So let's add it. I'm going. If I just said, I'm going, the first question that my friend would ask me is, where? I'm going to the store. When? I'm going to the store today. Why? I'm going to the store today to buy groceries. And so this is this represents the complete thought. There's nothing more to take from this sentence other than why today, or what kind of groceries, or which store. But in general, I have said everything that I need to say for you to have all the information that you as a listener desire to receive. And so, springboarding from this, I want to talk to you guys about how do you change this from a statement to a question. And in a similar way, there is a sort of formula for how we use these words to ask questions. And that formula is our W word plus a helping verb plus the subject followed by the verb. So I have a couple of examples for you guys here, and I have kept the color coding for my W words. And so here we have, what are you doing this weekend? What is my W word, are is my helping verb, you the subject, and doing the verb. And then we have another time reference for this weekend. Similarly, why are you crying? W word, helping verb, subject, verb. I will say there is a little bit of a trickiness to this, in that if you were using the simple verb is or are, then you don't have a helping verb because they are the verb. Actually, these two words act as, you can see in my previous sentences, the helping verb for other verbs. So when you're just using is or are, as I have here, where is the restroom, or who are those people, the verb moves to right after the W word, followed right after by the subject. So the next thing that I have here for you guys is, I told you, how can I use this to improve my writing? And so a large part of natural English speaking and writing is structuring sentences in this order. Out of order sentences sound odd, so let's look at an example. Today I'm going to buy groceries at the store. There's nothing grammatically wrong about this sentence, but it sounds unnatural because the order in which the information presented isn't logical. Let's fall back on our colors. And you guys maybe haven't realized this, but I was trying to do this in the order of the rainbow. Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue. And here we have green, red, orange, blue, yellow. And you can think about this in that if I said to you, today I'm going to buy groceries, I don't actually need to say at the store. Most people readily understand that you buy groceries at the grocery store. So that's what I mean in that it doesn't make sense to put at the store after buying groceries. And this isn't just important for sentences, but for sets of sentences. Think about what is the most important thing that you want to say in a sentence. And then, after saying that sentence, ask yourself the question, what would a person possibly ask me about what I just said? And then you answer that question in your following sentence. This is what I mean about, this is how you logically construct multiple sentences in a way that they follow a pathway that matches the way that we naturally think about communication and what information do we want to know and when do we want to know it. The last thing I have here for you guys is, how do I use this in test problem solving? Well, first of all, the information of who, what, when, where, why will often reveal parts of speech. Like who is typically the subject, what is typically a verb, where is a prepositional phrase most of the time, and so forth. But again, more importantly, every complete thought should answer all of these questions. So if you're reading something and there's something you don't understand, you should go through this list of questions and apply them to the text and see where do you find yourself unable to answer one of the W's, the who, what, where, when, or why. And then I won't say more importantly, but sort of in this same line of thinking, there's a concept that's actually just called the 5 whys. And this was developed by Sakichi Toyota in the 1930s. This is the guy that founded the Toyota car company. And what this philosophy is that you ask a base question of why. Why did something fail? And then there is an answer to that question. But that answer itself probably has something about it that is misunderstood. Why? A common example is problem. Our customer did not pay us for the order. Why didn't he pay us? He said that he received the order late and so couldn't use it. Why did he receive the order late? Well, because we couldn't make it on time because we were missing a component from our factory. Why were we missing this component? And in that sense, it's like a child that just keeps asking, why? But you keep asking until you have found an answer that most basically solves the problem that you have. And by doing this, you will much better understand what it is you're reading and be able to solve questions about it. So the last thing I have for you guys here is test yourself, always. This is a sentence scramble where the words of this sentence are not in order, and the goal is to rearrange them into a sentence that makes sense. So, I mean, at this point, I'll give you guys like 15-20 seconds to try to do it on your own. Where is my clock? Okay. Okay, you guys think you have it? This is what the answer should look like. I am going to New York City next month to visit my friend. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue. But remember, as we said at the beginning, the when can move places in a sentence, and so you can also say, next month I'm going to New York City to visit my friend, or I'm going to New York City to visit my friend next month. All of these are totally acceptable. The only difference is whatever you say first in the sentence is what you are wanting to give the most focus to. Is it you and what you plan on doing it? Or is it next month? What is the more important thing? So let's recap the lesson now. In English, information is almost always presented in an order of who, what, where, when, which can move, followed by why. Well, as I just said, the when can change position in a sentence from the start, the end, or the middle. A reminder to you guys that we talked about, don't split infinitives, ever. Infinitives are to plus a verb. To go, to read, to buy. That's an infinitive. Don't ever put a word between to and the verb that follows it. Following this order of information will greatly improve the naturalness of your English. And lastly, asking these questions will also greatly improve how well you understand something and so your ability to solve it. Thanks as always for watching, guys. Like the video and subscribe to help me be able to make more of these and to come up with more ideas for you guys. If there's anything in the video that is confusing to you, leave a comment, ask a question. I will get back to you as fast as possible. Follow me on Twitter at SigmaIsGreater so you can see what I'm working on at the time and whenever I release new content. And if you have something you want to learn, message me. I'll be happy to teach you whatever it is. Until next time, see you guys.